Folks, the most dangerous appraisal company in the world to work for is the exclusive appraisal company.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
A big warning today. I'm going to tell you about a client that you may be working for right now, and you may not even know it. This is the most dangerous client out there currently, in my opinion. This is a client that really can cause you some heartache. So I want you to stay tuned as I'm starting to laugh already because I can't even keep a straight face through this. But stick with me, folks. I want to pause here and remind you that we are sponsored by Working RE magazine. Folks, Working RE is right on the top of everything going on in the appraisal profession. You can check them out by going to your web browser and typing in Working RE. That stands for Working Real Estate, workingre.com. Datamasterusa.com is where you find the company. It will save you about 45 minutes per report. It's datamasterusa.com. One more time, datamasterusa.com. Finally, we're sponsored by A La Mode. Pick up the phone, folks, and call them 800 A La Mode and ask them why it is that you should switch from whatever company you're with to A La Mode. It's ALAMODE.com or 800 A La Mode. All right, folks, I've teased you a little bit, okay? This is not a specific company. Let me set this up. Over the last 2 weeks, I literally have had an opportunity to talk to two individuals, coaching individuals, and we get into the detail, by the way. When we're doing one-on-one coaching, we're talking very specific things, okay? Let me warn you, okay? And this is for your own good, but if you come to me for coaching, I'm going to tell it like it is, okay? In fact, I usually start out my sessions by telling them, I hope you have thick skin, because you didn't pay me to pat you on the head and say what a great boy or girl you are. You hired me to tell you or to guide you into doing things better, which means inevitably we've got to point out things that you can improve on. Okay, and I'm going to be very blunt and I'm going to be very friendly and professional about it, but we're going to talk about some real life things here. Okay, and so that's kind of how these coaching sessions go. But over the last couple of weeks, I've had two different sections, and this isn't the first time this has happened to me, but it's kind of foremost on my brain right now because it's happened twice in the last 2 weeks when I start to get into the details of their business and what their business looks like. And we talk about volume, and we talk about normal fees, and we talk about overall gross revenue, and we talk about, their setup and are they delegating? Do they have others working in their office? I mean, we get into a lot of details about how the business runs, depending on why you've come to me for coaching, right? Sometimes we talk about relationships. Sometimes we talk about, what we need to do to allow you to be able to go on vacation for more than 2 weeks out of the year. A lot of different things that we can go over in the coaching. But a lot of times it comes down to the products that you're offering, the types of orders that you're doing, and the types of clients that you're working for. And twice in the last 2 weeks, I've talked to individuals who have told me, well, I really only have one client. And I said, well, wait, what do you mean? You only have one client? Like you only work for AMCs, plural? No, I only work for AMC. Like one. Okay. And we talk about it, okay, and I don't laugh like I just did. With a straight face, I say, okay, let's talk through that for a second. Why is it that you work for, ABC, AMC? Well, ABC, I've been with for, 10 plus years. They're a great company. I know their system. Right? I know what they need. I know what they want. I'm able to provide them. They love me because I'm able to do things quickly, right? I'm able to, when they call on me, when ABC calls me up or sends me an email, they know I can accept the order. They know I can get it done. They know that I know my business. I know my area. I know values around here. I know their system. Okay, I know what they want. They always want a picture of all four sides of the house, right? And I just know that, so I inevitably get that picture, right? They always want this blurb on page 3. And I just know that's in my template, and so I'm able to be the very best appraiser that I possibly can for this company, and it's treated me well. And I make very good money, right? Because I'm their number one appraiser in this area. Folks, nothing wrong with any of that except one thing. And that's what makes them the most dangerous appraisal company in the world to work for. I want to pause here and remind you we are sponsored by Working RE Magazine. Folks, if you want to know what's going on in the appraisal world, for example, okay, on a pretty regular basis, Working RE puts out these surveys. Okay, the most recent one I can remember is, would you participate in bifurcation? Okay, and they reached out to tens of thousands of appraisers across the nation and got some really interesting data about bifurcation. Folks, if you want to find out about bifurcation, if you want to find out about appraisal fees in your area as compared to other appraisers, how would you like that data? Well, it's found on workingre.com. Again, it's workingre.com. We're sponsored by a la mode. A la mode, of course, is the software that gives me all the, well, for lack of a better term, bells and whistles that I need to complete my appraisal reports efficiently. That's why I stick with a la mode, folks. The price point is perfect for me. I'm very willing to open up my checkbook every year and write a check to a la mode. Yes, CoreLogic, because they give me what I need. They give me the tools, the ability to be able to be more efficient. One of the great things about a la mode is they absolutely have the best mobile app out there. It's amazing. The things I'm able to do on site and then upload to the cloud, and then my office can download on their side and plug it right into the report just seamlessly, right? That report can be worked on before I even get back to the office. It is super cool. That's the kind of thing that a la mode will do for you. You can find out more at alamode.com. It's alamode.com. Finally, we're sponsored by DataMaster. Had an opportunity to speak on the phone with Rick, the CEO and president and creator of DataMaster, just the other day. Folks, this is a guy who really does care about appraisers. He is an appraiser, right? He basically took a system that he had developed archaically. Okay, ask him someday at one of these conferences about his card system, his card comp system, right? And basically took that and made it high-tech and made it possible for appraisers to save 45 minutes on every report that they do. It's DataMaster. You can check them out at datamasterusa.com. Again, it's datamasterusa.com. All right, today we're talking about the most dangerous client out there, and if you haven't already gathered, I'll just, the big reveal here. We're not talking about a specific company here. We're talking about the dangerous act of putting all of your eggs in one basket, okay? Now, I get it, right? If I were to put all my eggs in one basket, it would be the VA. Okay, I've talked here about how great the VA is. I've talked here before about how they are an A-plus client for me. I've talked here about how they're not perfect, right? That I've had some struggle with them over highest and best use at times. But for the most part, they pay really well. The appraisals are pretty straightforward. All of the arguments that I gave you at the first part of this podcast, I can apply to the VA. I know what they want. I'll give you an example, okay? In our area, fences don't usually add much value, if any. Okay, so whether you have a fence or not have a fence, I've not been able to personally derive any support for an adjustment. Therefore, on most of my appraisals, whether you have a fence or not, I usually leave that off of the grid. Well, VA's attitude is if you put it on page 1, it's got to be on the grid. Okay, which I get it. I understand where they're coming from. Okay, I might have a different opinion, but I understand that that's what VA wants. And so if I have a partial fence or a full fence or no fence on my grid, I'm going to, at the very last line, I'm going to put N fence, P fence, or F fence. Okay? In other words, is there a fence? Is there partially a fence? Is there no fence? And there's still no adjustment, but they want it on the grid. That's one of the small things that I just know by working for VA. that I've had my hand slapped before, right? I've received these letters before that say, shame on you, you did it wrong, you didn't put fence on the grid. Oh, crap, yeah, you're right, I forgot. But I know their system. That's the point, right? I still remember my training in the VA office in Denver. It's a long story why I actually went to Denver, because I could have done it online, but I didn't know it at the time. Anyway, I'm sitting there around the table, and I raised my hand because I was used to working for clients that dictate certain things. And I said, do you guys require that we do the cost approach? And the guy looked at me, and he said, well, do you think it's necessary? And I said, well, sometimes yes and sometimes no. And he said, well, then the answer is sometimes yes and sometimes no. I'm like, interesting. And I said, well, do you require at least a land value? And he says, well, is it necessary for a credible report? And I said, most times, yes. And he goes, well, then most times do it. And I thought, this is awesome. I can get used to a company like this that respects the appraiser's ability to decide what's necessary and what's not necessary. Okay. So, but the point is this. If I were to choose one company that I was going to work for, the answer is I wouldn't do that. Okay. Now, if I had a gun to my head and I had to choose one company to work for forever, it would be the VA, right? They pay well. They're pretty straightforward appraisals. I love working with the VA. They care about veterans. I have the utmost respect. My father is a veteran. I love the opportunity. In fact, most of the time when I'm in the inspection on VA, I love just talking to the veteran. So what service were you in, and where did you serve, and where were you stationed? And I just love, and I love say thank you for your service, before I leave, because I appreciate what they've given. I appreciate their sacrifice, and I appreciate being a part of helping them to either refinance or purchase a home. I think that's a wonderful experience, and that would be my one client. But here's the problem. If you haven't gathered already, the problem is that if you are dealing with one company, right, that company may be the best in the whole world. But let's just use this example of the VA. If I chose to get rid of all my other clients and work by the way, I know appraisers who work exclusively for the VA. That's all they'll do. But my question would be is, what if the appraisal process or the appraisal part of a VA loan went away tomorrow? Well, that would never happen, Dustin. Really? You sure? What would happen if the VA no longer did loans? Would you be in trouble? Folks, the most dangerous appraisal company in the world to work for is the exclusive appraisal company. That old adage that you should not put all of your eggs in one basket, I think is very, very true. You need to think through who it is that you work for. Think through who it is that you want to continue to work for. And yes, I have my favorite clients as well. You've heard me talk about my A clients, B clients, and Y clients, right? A clients are people like the VA, right? Now, I know VA is not officially a client because you actually get the order through another lender. I get that, right? By the way, that's another perk of working for the VA is I learn about lenders I didn't even know about, right? And then I can reach out to them and say, hey, do you do more than VA loans? Well, yeah. Well, I would love to be your exclusive appraiser, okay? And go through that marketing process. But the point is this. If you are working for one or two, I got off track. A clients, pay well, pay on time, ask for very little, respect the appraiser. Okay, that's an A client. B client, maybe they respect the appraiser, they don't ask for a lot, but they pay 45 days, right? Or maybe their fees aren't quite to the level that I'm happy with, but they still pay on time and they give me a lot of work. Okay, that's a B client. A Y client has more than one of those problems. Okay, and then they become a why am I working for you client, and they become a client that I don't work for anymore. Okay, that's the difference, right? I have my list of A clients. I have my list of maybe, I don't know, half a dozen individuals that I would put at least A minus. Okay, of clients that I'll continue to work for. Many of them are local. They're not AMCs. I do have one or two AMCs that I would put in the A minus category, maybe B plus, right? But the fear is if you find that great company, that wonderful company that gives you all kinds of work, that pays you well, that respects you, that loves you, right? That you're their exclusive person. How long will that last? Folks, you ever heard of Appraiser Loft? Ever heard of LandSafe? Ever heard of, well, the list goes on and on. Folks, I know people that worked exclusively for LandSafe because they gave them tons of business, they kept them busy, and then all of a sudden LandSafe was gone. The most dangerous appraisal company in the world is the company that you're working for exclusively, in my opinion. Okay? If you're an entrepreneur and if you care about your future, take a look at your business. Take a look at your business model. Take a look at the list of clients that you're working for, and please, 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 please make sure that you diversify. Folks, I can help you with this and other things through my mastermind groups across the nation. We have 7 mastermind groups, 6 of them in person. You're going to meet in a hotel conference room, a boardroom, around a big table in nice leather executive chairs, and we have an opportunity to work on anything that you want to for an hour. And then you have an opportunity to be a fly on the wall and an active participant in helping others around that table as well. It really is nice to become a nice appraisal family, a mastermind family, if you will, and really get to know each other. We also have an online version, okay, that you can join exclusively as well and meet every quarter and have an opportunity to set goals, to follow up on your previous goals, to move your business forward. Folks, I have seen appraisers take their business from one-man shops, one-woman shops, to 4 or 5 appraisers working for them, and we're talking the difference between $85,000 a year gross to $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 gross in just a couple of years. It's an amazing experience to be a part of such an amazing group. Hope you'll consider joining. Just go to my website, theappraisercoach.com, and click on memberships.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.